Hi, everyone. So happy mm, Tuesday. I keep forgetting what days. It's Wednesday here, it's Tuesday for you. Um, oh no, no, no. It's Thursday here. It's Wednesday for you. Ah, you can tell I'm a bit out of sorts today. Um, I I had this last minute travel yesterday, which is why I missed the live, and I had to come into another city, Changsha, which is still in the same province, but it's like this is the big city. This is the capital of the province, and for my paperwork for my visa, I had to do some things in this capital city. So we had to hop on a train yesterday morning, and so I couldn't live. And then this morning, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning here, and I had to change hotels this morning. So I actually got up early and like checked out and hopped in the car, came here, and I'm in the hotel lobby. So like, you know, uh, this is my day. And so I thought, as I was thinking about what to talk about today, maybe it's a good thing to talk about is how, doing business on the road and doing business or trying to do business, when things are unsettled, like I don't have good structure and routine, or I can't have a reliable structure and routine. I don't have a consistent schedule these days, and I haven't had one for a really long time. So, how do I stay grounded? How do I continue moving things forward? So, I thought I would talk about that today. I'm Beth. I am in China and I am sharing on different topics each day. Today is business. So I'm going to be talking about doing business in the mess, business on the road. Thanks for being here. Um, so, yeah, I think what I was going to share is just kind of a day in the life, taking yesterday as an example. So I I had to leave early in the morning. So my hotel had breakfast. So I got up, I had a quick breakfast, took a taxi to the train station, got on the train. At the train, I had an hour and a half train ride. So on the train ride, I was able to chat with ChatGPT. And so I use those chats to explore ideas and to build out lists of um, like either projects that are unfinished or things I want to do or goals or do like strategic brainstorming and like exploring ideas. So yesterday, um, I was exploring, oops, no, I'm going to open up that. We want to open up chat. Yesterday, I was exploring kind of vibe coding because I'm interested in that's one of the goals for myself for this year is to explore vibe coding and try to do some vibe coding. Oh, hey, hello. And I'm talking about working in the mess today. Hey, Bloom. I had a big change yesterday, which is why I missed the YouTube live, and then this morning I just changed hotels. So I'm like, "Wah." So I thought I will talk today's business. So I thought I'll talk about doing business in the middle of a mess and like how to like stay. How do I do that? So I'm doing a day in the life. So yesterday I was on the train and I was doing the ChatGPT conversations, and um, I was exploring vibe coding ideas, and I, kind of got to some interesting things. I think I tried two different things. One was, what kind of vibe coding could I do with my art? Like, how could I create some kind of app that would take my artwork and turn it into something fun, like for me, like maybe you know, a quick moving storybook, for example, kind of like the Gemini storybook idea, or maybe a greeting card, or I don't know. So I was kind of like exploring that. That was one thing. Um, and then I also did some exploration about vibe coding for like healing professionals, particularly ones like myself who are often, at least I'm meeting a lot that are on the road. And I think there's something about that because when we're um, exploring like different cultures and different healing techniques and things like that. So I meet a lot of people in the healing profession who are traveling around, and they're trying to build online businesses and trying to have passive income streams. And it's not necessarily their forte, and it's can be quite overwhelming, of course, to try to learn anything. So I thought, okay, maybe we could use vibe coding to help people in the healing profession to create uh, just something simple, but something that could be a product that they could sell and give them that initial feeling of success, that initial feeling of some income coming in, and also just an initial feeling of getting all of your wisdom and knowledge out of your head and into something that can be shared. Because I mean, the people that I have met are so incredibly brilliant, and I feel so grateful to have them in my orbit. But I do see them struggling to get their information into something that can be shared. So I thought maybe that would be a good thing for vibe coding. So that's what I did on the train. And then I had some running around that I had to do for the paperwork stuff. Um, I did go to the bank yesterday, which was very interesting. Chinese banking, first experience. And so it's a local bank. It's like this is Changsha, the capital of this province, but it's still a local. It's not a. It's not one of the bigger cities in China. I think it's a tier. I don't know if it's a tier two even. I think it might be below a tier two. I'll have to check. They have the tier system of like how big cities are here. I don't think it's a tier two. I think it's a tier three. Anyway, the bank was like, you walk into this huge lobby, beautiful, no people at all in the huge lobby. Oh, no, there was a person. That was the receptionist because she's the one that told us to go in the elevators. Then we went in the elevator up to the second floor, and the second floor, again, just beautiful, very expansive, very calm. I don't know, it just felt different than I guess our banks are kind of calm too. Um, but anyway, it was a really big ordeal to get for me to get a account and a card because they have to input the information in the system, and it's not built for Westerners. It's not built for foreigners. And so how they put your name in and what phone number you use and what address you use and all this information is they have to translate me into their system. It required many conversations with the staff. Um, and even now, oh, and then my middle name was always very confusing because, like in our passport, it has first name, middle name, or no, it has last name at the top, and then it has first name, middle name. And yeah, it's probably the same when somebody from China moves to the US. For sure, for sure. Um, but yeah, so they got really confused with my middle name. That was a conundrum. So like, so first they had your surname box. I put my last name, and then then they saw on my passport, they saw my middle name, and they were like, well, where is that? And I'm like, oh, that's just nothing. That's my middle name. No, 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 you got to put it on there. So then I had to change everything and put the middle name. And now it's really funny because I can't use the card right now because I don't know what the name is on the card. So when I'm trying to link it, I can't figure out how to put my name in. I've tried every way possible. I did like last name and then first name, and then I tried last name and then first name and then middle name, and then I tried first initial and then middle. Like I've tried everything. Even my host here has been like, did you try this? Did you try that? And I'm like, yes. So I probably have to go back to the bank and say like, okay, how did you end up like actually putting my name in? Um, but anyway, but the good thing is once you get the bank card in China, it's lots of things here are linked and only available to Chinese bank cards. You can't use your credit card. You can't use, even if you have like, we use like WeChat and Alipay for all payments here. And I can link my credit cards and my accounts to those payment systems. But even then, I can't use them for certain things because I'm not using the back end isn't a Chinese card. So anyway, hopefully that will get worked out. That will be a big step in my integration here. Getting the Chinese phone and then getting the Chinese bank account and then getting the work visa. These are like the three. That's the trifecta. So that was the afternoon. And then after that, we got to go visit one of the schools here in Changsha. So like one of the English programs, and it was so sweet. And they were so happy to like have me there. It's really cute, like it really is such a special thing to have a foreigner. And they had some tea, beautiful, local, amazing tea for us, and just got to say hello to all of them. And then went to the hotel. And so then in the hotel, part of the reason I couldn't stay there is that it wasn't a real hotel. And this is very common in China, and I have to be careful and more precise about my parameters. It's a hotel. I shouldn't say it's not a real hotel. It's a hotel, but they just will put like in a big condo building or whatever, they'll allocate a floor or two to hotel rooms. And so what I mean by it not being a real hotel is like it didn't have like a hotel lobby. There was like a place where you would go in and you get your key and you talk to a person, but that's a separate office. And then once you get your key, you walk outside, you walk around into to get into the big condo building. And then you're just in the condo building and you go up to the 25th floor and go into your room. Um, and for me, especially here, just not knowing the city well and everything, I just didn't feel comfortable. Like last night, I wanted to get some food, but I didn't know how to order the food because I wasn't sure what the address of the building was. And then I didn't want to go out because I didn't just, what if the card didn't work getting back in the outside door or something? Like I just was kind of like, it's okay, I'll just wait till morning. So I just waited until morning. And it was fine. But now here I am in a normal hotel with a normal lobby. I think this is one of my basic requirements. So, okay. So the other thing I would say as far as like business doing on the road, a big thing is working with the technology. And of course, here in China, we have firewalls. So that is always fun, is figuring that out. So like for a lot of the apps, um, on my phone, it's not so bad because I have mobile service. So I can access things on my phone. I can use a VPN and I can still access things on my phone pretty easily. But um, thanks, Bloom. Um, on the laptop, like say Midjourney, I can only do on my laptop, right? So I have to have a place where I can, connect to good Wi-Fi, stable Wi-Fi, and VPN on my laptop. And even so, like it gets it can stop in the middle. Like they do, I don't know what they do. They must do some kind of like sweeps or something. Um, they do have good Wi-Fi, but um, and I think pretty much everywhere they have good Wi-Fi. Well, okay, I will tell you when I when I first arrived into the town where I'm getting the work visa, there was no Wi-Fi. That was my first time where I arrived at a train station and there was no cell service and there was no Wi-Fi and it was 8 o'clock at night. And so that was a bit handicapping because I couldn't do anything. I couldn't use my phone. I couldn't order a taxi. I couldn't text someone for help. Like, and because it's a little bit more remote, they don't really speak English. So I was just really lucky that someone happened to get off the train and overheard me and was a lawyer coming in from Beijing, a young man, and he spoke English and he helped me out and took me to my hotel and stuff. That was my only real experience where felt very vulnerable. Um, but I think the thing with the Wi-Fi is that for a lot of the programs I'm yeah, they do have really funny like English you know adornments here, right? So like the t-shirts and the shoes, and so I should do a thing about that. Maybe I'll do that on the travel day, because I have pictures. I mean, I have the signs, of course, the Chinese signs, which are funny. I have pictures of those, but then also like the t-shirts and like the shoes. Oh yeah, that's really fun. So this was when I had a favorite hat that I could check with me everywhere. I traveled everywhere with my yellow bucket hat. I got it in Canada. I loved it. I lost it so many times and found it so many times that I started taking pictures, like every time I lost it and found it. But finally, one day, I'd lost it and it was stayed lost. Maybe it'll come back to me someday. Who knows? But in the meantime, this was my This is my replacement. I thought it was funny. Um, yeah, I forgot what I was saying. VPN maybe. Yeah. So anyway, Wi-Fi. Talking about Wi-Fi. I don't know. I think I probably said enough about Wi-Fi. It's just um I will say that's probably not helpful if you're not coming to China, but I have like to use different VPNs as well. Oh, that's what I was saying is that I think they do some kind of sweep. That's what I was saying because I'll just be on there and then all of a sudden it'll kick off or it'll say, oh, you can't access that country anymore, meaning like the United States or wherever I'm connected to. So I think they just do kind of regular sweeps, maybe. And then I just have to disconnect the Wi-Fi, reconnect the Wi-Fi, reconnect the VPN, and continue. But sometimes that's very disruptive, depending on what I'm making them. So that's a challenge. And sometimes that can be frustrating. But on the other hand, like yesterday, even on the train, like I was able to join the YouTube live on the train for a little bit, and then it got sketchy, and I had to drop off. Um, Oh yeah. Do you use VPNs there, Blue? Do you use that just for safety? Are you using that just for why do you use a VPN? Or is that just when you're traveling or use that at home? I didn't really use VPNs when I was back in the US too much. Um, but yeah, I think other than that, I I would say the big challenge is just finding blocks of time here. It's been my challenge recently. I mean, I have to stay flexible because I'm often a guest and people invite me. Like today I was going to have a big block of time, but I've been invited to lunch and then I had to change the thing this morning. So I will have again this little morning window, but um, but it's not a whole day. I was really hoping I was going to have a big block of time today. And I think they're all trying to be helpful and they think it's really nice and it is really nice. But um, I think I'm also trying to kind of communicate like I'm okay. You don't have to entertain me. I'm good. I can stay here and just do some work today. Um, so yeah. So I don't know. I guess that I did have kind of like the moral of the story, I guess, is just that I try to keep doing something. I try to keep thinking. I try to taking notes. It's really nice that I can work with Chat GPT easily because it's a light program, so it doesn't require a lot of. It seems to work smoothly no matter where I am. And yeah, so I think working while unsettled, is a good muscle to build. And I I hope that um I hope this is interesting and helpful for y'all. And um, I'd love to hear what you do. Like, how do you stay settled if you're in transition? What are your tips and tricks? Maybe you have some ideas for me. Let me know. Oh, you have satellite internet. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I'm excited to see your live in a little bit, Bloom. I and to go back and watch yesterday's. You do such good content, man. You're knocking it out of the park. Awesome. Awesome stuff. And grateful to have you in my orbit. I did tell the artist, young artist that I met with at my last host family. I showed her your link and I was like, yes, and if you join, please introduce yourself. So maybe you'll get some Chinese followers. Yeah, it's hard to choose what to do. That's the trick, isn't it? Yeah. Well, thank you for joining on my messy day. Thank you for joining on my out of sorts morning. And I hope you have a wonderful evening. And I'll see you later. Thank you so much.